believe that generally speaking, everybody is, we've all been created in the likeness and image of God. God is the embodiment of goodness. I believe that everybody has the capacity to be good, but then I also believe that everybody has the capacity to be selfish based off of situations. I don't think that we come with one or the other. You have to, I think generally situations would make you, have to decide to be selfish, or just, I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
The key word for me there is fundamental. Now, basically, humans have origins. And your first point of call is when you come out of the womb as a babe crying. That's the most selfish thing we do. We cry. We cry, and then instinctively we suckle. So yes, we are selfish. Fundamentally, that is how we are. Good or bad comes thereafter. These are things that we have to learn. We learn to either be good or bad. Our environment, our circumstances, whether you are impoverished or you grow up in a household where you have affluence, exposure, education, those are the things that determine whether you are good or you turn out to be bad. But are we selfish? We were born selfish.
But the first thing we need to understand is good is contextual. What we call good here might be something normal somewhere else. Now, this is my point. But fundamentally, every human being is selfish. Fundamentally. Now, when you talk of environment being the one engineering us to be maybe that we are all, if you say we are all good people and the environment engineered us to be maybe into something else. Now, take a baby who is like maybe 2 years or maybe even less than that. Give the baby a toy or maybe money. Then ask the baby to give you back. Fundamentally, you will see that the baby will refuse. Giving you back is a problem. Yes. Now, and if you look at it, so if you take it out of that context now, and maybe you probably use the Nigeria and maybe another country, let's use the US for example, as a point of maybe consideration. For example, now obeying traffic here in Nigeria, if you obey traffic here in Nigeria, you are considered a good person. But if you go outside and obey traffic, or you didn't, it's just something normal. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So good, we need to define what good means. But fundamentally, I'll tell you that every human being, God forbid, if this building is on fire, the first person that will run out is me. Because I'll tell you, and I'm sure the next person will do the same thing. Because before you now think of, oh, how do I save other people? So fundamentally, we are all selfish.
Add to what Mrs. and him said. So fundamentally, everybody, we are all selfish beings. Because if we were actually born good, there will not be any need for rules and regulations, laws of the land, because there won't be need for it. That's just what I want to add to what they said. Yes.
Actually, based on research, humans are born good. Based on research. Let me just bring this one or two instances. Assume a child. You gave a child something, and when you want to collect that thing back, he will refuse. So now we have to the structure of human being. What makes that child deny to give you? One, we will say human beings are strategic beings. They are strategic. Right from your childhood, your brain is activated and is protecting you from anything harm. That means whatever you want, your brain will work as hard as it can to give you that thing. And when you have it and someone wants to take it away, your brain will program you that don't give it away. So this is not selfish, this is strategic. This is strategic. It's not selfishness. It's in the tone. It's strategic. So to me, human beings are strategic beings whose morality is activated or suppressed by the environment. The environment can suppress you, so the strategically may turn to selfishness.
Humans are fundamentally good. Now, I'll cite a philosopher who says, a child at birth is a clean slate. Yes, what that means is, at birth, you're free of thoughts, you're completely empty, you have nothing to think of. So at that point, as you're growing, you tend to gather experiences, which eventually begins to form you. And now Rene Descartes says something. He said, cogito ergo sum, which means I think, therefore I am. So I feel as we grow and the experiences will begin to gather, the things we begin to think begins to emerge. So you could, at this point, think in a certain way because you are definitely thinking towards that direction. So it all depends. So we can be restrained by the circumstances we find ourselves due to our experiences.
He was born as an innocent child at one point of life. And yes, innocence. So basically our society and circumstances, as indicated there, made some persons become what they are today, I feel, because at some point of you growing up, your parents try to instill, no matter the family you're coming from, they'll try to instill, like put in these morals in you. But then when you get to a particular conscious state where you know the difference between right and wrong, you now decide. Because I feel whatever you're doing, you do it based on your own decision and life, what life gives you. That survival instinct put out there. So I feel every human are good people, but due to one circumstance or the other, they actually change that person.
Just to contribute to my little quota, the question said, are humans fundamentally good people restrained by circumstances? Then my answer would be, humans are fundamentally good people that can be changed or conditioned by circumstance. And then, are they fundamentally selfish? Yes, we are selfish. Now, to me, selfish in this sense means you prioritize yourself to an extent. So you want a certain thing for yourself. You prioritize your own self, your care. So fundamentally, from the beginning, we are selfish, because in every point of our lives, we would actually consider ourselves. That makes you selfish, in quotes. Now, we are fundamentally good people, but circumstances can either change us. So the question is tricky, but to me, yes, we are fundamentally good people that can be conditioned by circumstances.
That we are both born good and selfish. Humans are born good and selfish because circumstances can come and you still remain good. Circumstances can come and you still be selfish. So it's both ways. For me, it's 50-50.
What I have to say is humans being selfish, good or bad, depends on what we define as good, bad or selfish. Like let's use Nigerian people, citizens, as example. Here now, we Nigerians are saying we are bad. Maybe government, the roads, the way, the empathy is not there from the leaders up there. But when we go outside the country, they look at us as good people, because on another area, we are good people. Based on the environment changes the way we think here. The same people that behave selfish here will be the same people that will be good somewhere else and be bad somewhere else. So I don't think human beings are bad, good or selfish.
I'll start by saying that the heart of men is desperately wicked. But notwithstanding, I believe that we are actually born good, but our circumstances and experiences contribute to making us who we are today, either continuing in that goodness, retaining the goodness, or diverting or putting on a marks to survive and so on. So we are born good, then our circumstances and experiences contribute to whatever we become.
So I believe that everyone is born selfish humanly. So what I want to point out is the circumstances that does it shape how people respond to life. There are people that are born maybe in the slum and they go into either stealing or prostitution. They say, I was suffering, that's why I went into that kind of situation. But there are the same people who are born into that same circumstance and they have to work hard, suffered, and they made their way. So circumstances does not really shape who you are. You decide to allow the circumstance to shape you.
Naturally, we are all good. Yes, but circumstances makes us to be selfish, change our identity and our human behavior. If not naturally, every one of us sitting down here right now have this goodness in us. But due to this selfish act and circumstances of life and the way life has treated us, majority, so some people decide to be selfish. Why some people decide to be, like social surviving. Let me trick my way in a way out to survive. So naturally, we are all good. It's our nature to be good.
My answer to this question is just to throw more light, to open our insight to something than a word there says humans. And I want us to understand that one of the fundamental assignment as humans, either a male or a female, first is humanity. As you are born to this world, your assignment on this earth is first humanity. Any other thing that you are doing that is outside this, it is not among. Now, a philosopher says that everyone is born bad. And me personally, I also believe that every humans are not born bad, they are born good. It is when we have come to this earth, that is when we decide what is bad and what is good. Somebody can just grow up in an environment, one and just pick a knife and stab somebody, and he sees it as a normal stuff. Do you understand? Then the say, you have killed somebody. It's an action. Somebody will not say, you cannot say because you don't know that it is bad means you will be scot-free. So we are the one that governs, that decide the laws that sustain us. Why we keep those things is to keep our humanity keep running. So our first assignment as woman is what? Humanity. Humanity is what determines what is bad and what is good.